Okay, Easter is gone, and we say a very good welcome to you wherever you are, wherever you're watching, wherever you've woken up to go and attend to your daily activities. It's been a very long weekend. It was the Easter weekend, starting all the way from last week on Thursday to yesterday, being Monday. Remember, this is one of the longest weekend that we've had after the Mano holidays that we had. You remember when Prime Minister Raila Odinga said, "Let there be the holidays." The holidays were there. However much people were saying they were unconstitutional, but the holidays were there. Why? Because one, they were trying to address the issues that are affecting the common mwananchi on the day-to-day activities. Besides that, ndani ya Pasaka vile vile pia tulikuwa na visanga na vitukio tofauti tofauti. We had the self-proclaimed Jesus, anajiita Yesu wa Tongeren from Goma County, who goes by the name of Eliud Wekesa. He said, nikimnukuu, hata sulubisho tena kwa ajili ya yetu. And he said he only recognizes one Easter that himself na ufuasi wake will be celebrating. I think, if I'm not wrong, sometime in July. Our Jesus from Tengeren, also called Eliud Wekesa, has his church ambayo inaitwa Jerusalem Mpya, na kanisa hii iko katika maeneo ya Lukokwe village in Tongeren ndani ya gatuzi la Bungoma. When we look into the religious sphere, we really get to ask ourselves very many questions about, one, these very many churches that are coming up, and these people that even self-proclaim themselves to be Jesus. Do they perform any miracles? Those are some of the questions that we should be trying to look into. However, the Pasaka season is over. We are back. We have to grind. It is Tuesday, and lazima tuendelee na kazi popote pale tulipo. Remember, I think it's 2 weekends ago when the president, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, on a Sunday evening had to address the nation when they were calling upon the Right Honorable Raila Odinga to drop the Maandamano Mondays and Thursdays, because one, the country was going through a very difficult moment, especially on these specific days that the Maandamano were taking place. Apart from that, the deputy president, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, also mentioned, however, we don't know where he got the statistics from, about the amount of money that is lost per day on the days that the Maandamanos are taking place. He mentioned a whopping 2 billion. This is a huge amount of money that the business community in Nairobi was losing, as well as business community in Kisumu and other places where all these Maandamanos were taking place. I believe it was a very big sigh of relief when the Right Honorable Raila Odinga later, the same day the president addressed the nation, he came and addressed the nation as well, and we had a breaking news saying that the Maandamanos have been called off. So to date, we are still enjoying the freedom of doing whatever we like to do, being matters business, going to school, and running our day-to-day activities. Remember, these and many others are some of the topics that we always bring to you and we indulge in at deeper length so that we get to understand deeper as we access and assess the state of the nation. This is the Focus Group. My name is Sharon Paul, and Kamakawa, we are always here in the studio with Mwita, and today he sent his sincere apologies for being absent. He is absent with apologies. Ajahepatu, he had to attend to other emergencies outside the studio, so he didn't make to be with me right here. However, he's there for other good things. I believe when he's back, we'll have to share. Now that I have been away for quite a long time, it was going to be a very big comeback. However, now when I'm stepping in, pia amepata majukumu mengine ambayo lazima angeweza Yeah, tuweza mwita wherever you are, tunakutakia kila laheri, and once you're done, we will welcome you back to the studio. Please feel free to follow us on our social media handles. On YouTube, you can find the focus group on the videos and the live streaming, the recorded videos that we always share on our handles at Sharon Paul SP, that is on Facebook, as well as Tuku, Mwita, Tuku, and on our YouTube handles, where you will always get us on Tuku, Mwita, Tuku as well, and Sharon Paul Media. Be part of the family by liking, sharing, and leaving a comment so that we can really get to know what kind of topics that you would like us to bring to you. However, you remember that it is only on the focus group where we bring to you matters concerning current affairs, as well as politics, education, health, entertainment, so that you can be updated of what is really going on in our surroundings and within Kenya and beyond. And now, talking about matters entertainment and matters within the entertainment arena, it has been a very long weekend, and something big, something huge went down. This one, nobody can really wish it to go away without being mentioned. We have our own, she's called Boss Lady, the president. Anajiita the president of all the single mothers, Esther Akothee, also known as Akothee, kwa wale ambao wanamjua katika uwanja wa muziki. Lakini pia, apart from that, she is a very big entrepreneur in Kenya. She is the founder, I think, and the CEO of Akothee Safaris. Esther Akothee, over the weekend, walked down the aisle and she said yes to her Swiss lover, ambaye tayari sijui mmetoa jina wapi, mmembandika jina Omosh. The guy is called Dennis Omosh. Jina lingine kidogo inanipa tashwishi, lakini anaitwa Dennis Omosh, jina ambalo tumempatia kama wa Kenya Shweza. Now, Akothee had a very glamorous function going down over the weekend. And if you are on any social media, I am very sure that you've seen what went down. Akothee in pictures at where they were attending the wedding. That was yesterday on Monday at the Windsor Golf Hotel here in Nairobi. It was attended by very many people. You can talk about political leaders, people within the entertainment arena, and it was the who's and who's who were there. I remember a friend of mine asking me, if you are a Luo celebrity, na hujaalikwa katika this celebration of Akothee saying yes to Halawa Omondi, then boss, you definitely need to work hard. This question was posed to me on Facebook, and we could really see the way people were reacting. All we say from the focus group, all the best to Akothee, tunakutakia kila laheri with your new found love, and now that you called the newly weds. Among the stars who were attending the wedding, we could see from the photos that we're having, we had the cabinet ministers like Aisha Juma was there in person. I strongly believe Governor of Kisumu, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, was well represented by his wife, Dorothy. We also had the very well outspoken, strong lady MP from Nyanza, Millie Odhiambo, was there in person. Not forgetting the Homa Bay County Women Rep, Ben Suda, who was there. For those who are watching the function live, you could see she had a session to recognize the dignitaries who are there and to wish Akothee and Dennis all the best. Apart from that, we also had nominated Senator Karen Nyamu, mrembo sana pia alikuwa pale. We had people from the entertainment arena. These were the singers like Bahati, and the entire occasion was graced by Tommy Nyadundo, who did a very nice job by performing very traditional songs for the wedding. We had Bahati there, who was with the wife, Diana, as well as we had the comedian, Terence Creative, anajiita Bwana Ngamwaya. kasema nikaingia pale katika harusi, nikakuwa katika na bibi yake na mambo yalikuwa shwari sana. Walikuwa wamevaa fine, thank you. This is one function that nobody, if you know somebody, would really want to miss. However, we wish them all the best and let love flow and let love thrive in the lives. Apart from that, we also had some other media personalities like Lina Muli, who we all know from the Royal Media Services, and as well as we had, who was this? Lofty Matambo. Mheshimu sana, namwelewa sana katika zile vipindi ambavyo yeye huleta sana sana katika lugha ya Kiswahili. Kudos, bro, wherever you are. We also had Big Brother. We saw huyu gwiji mwingine kutoka I think he's still at Radio Milele anajiita Mwakideu. So wherever you're visiting the social media space, be sure to see the very best of the pictures. Manake jana nilikuwa naona there was trolling, people were talking a lot, but naye Akothee pia akona defenders wake. People are really defending him. Some were saying this is her 7th wedding, her 2nd wedding, whatever number wedding, if that is the correct English, whatever wedding number that was, we wish you the best, Madam. The boss, sasa umesema the office of the president of all single women is vacant. We are trying to look into who is going to take up this space. Now, moving on, talking about matters of politics, state of the nation, the country's economy, which is really biting, and the living standards that people are really crying across all divide to try and calm down. There was a very nice interview yesterday that was done by one of the economic advisors of the government with he's called David Ndi, and I'm trying to look for a pull-up that David Ndi had shared, I think, on his Twitter, or it's not on Instagram. I think it's on his Twitter account. During the interview, very many people were trying to really understand what is happening with the country economically, because the living standards are really skyrocketing and people cannot even afford a basic meal of ugali and mboga. So from whatever we were seeing during the interview where he was with I think Maiga of Citizen TV, it was very clear that the country is not headed anywhere soon to the right direction. And just to read as it was indicated, David Ndi, an economist and a government advisor, said the government is extremely wasteful. If we hear that, we as the citizens and taxpayers who really feel the pinch of when these monies are being used in a wasteful manner, it is really disheartening. Now, he said, the government is extremely wasteful. There is not a single day that I am not exasperated, but by not just how wasteful it is, but by how deliberate it is and how unbothered people are. The question is, who are these people who are unbothered when we can seriously see that the country is not moving towards the right direction, especially in matters economics? People are asking very good questions. The civil servants have gone for more than 3 months without pay. Hao walienda likizo ya Pasaka lakini mifuko zilikuwa zimekauka. You get to ask yourself, are we working for the government or are we offering free services to the government? We, as the taxpayers, also pose our own questions. For we know the government is collecting tax every other day from the highest income earners to the lowest income earners. Uwe mama mboga, uwe CEO, there is that taxation that is happening. Be it a startup, SME, or a well-established industry that is making billions of money, be it annually, taxation inafanyika. But now the question comes, is this money that is being collected as tax being used in the right way? Because when the tax collector does his job and they post either their annual, biannual, or quarter findings on the amount of money that they have raised, we tend to ask ourselves, is the country really in the right direction? Because one, as a taxpayer, however much I earn, however much I make, are we in a position to say that now we can get affordable medical services? Can we take our children to school without getting the pinch of paying the very high fee as parents? Apart from that, are we enjoying the security within the country? Are we enjoying good roads, good infrastructure wherever we stay? So there's too much that is happening. And before too late, I think another question that is being asked is, do we have a looming strike from the public service? These are some of the issues that were discussed yesterday, and I know the public is in a very big outroar. It's just that at times people do not really know where to vent their angers, to vent their questions, because however much even we try to keep our elected leaders accountable, at times this does not, excuse me, really come to us with the very right answers that we need. Because now, if you look at the public sector, the public servants, the public service, 3 months without having being paid is not a very good situation for the country. People are asking in silence, when are they going to feel bottled enough to rupture? And we also understand that when the Maandamano was called off, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, they had the bare minimum. And the government as well was to select a few of its members to go and have a bipartisan kind of a situation where from the opposition we have a team and the government has a team where they're going to talk, to raise, discuss, indulge in all these issues that were affecting Kenyans and are still affecting Kenyans, and the reasons why the Right Honorable called upon the Maandamano Mondays. And when we had matters to do with bringing down the cost of living, which is still very high. Not everybody can even afford 3 meals in a day. Matters to do with opening the server, of which people argue if the win was legitimate and the server is reading right, if this is what will give Kenyans peace, give the opposition peace, let us open the server. Let us see what is there. The brigade from Kenya Kwanza won. We say, well and good, let us proceed. If this will not happen, as Raila said, he mentioned that they are going to have a 1 week break. The other time when Orengo was addressing a congregation in Siaya, he said, Gor Mahia is just on halftime. It's when it's going to come back a fully Gor Mahia reloaded. So as we watch, as we wait to hear from both the president and the leader of the opposition, very many questions are still looming as to why the government, the country, and the entire nation of Kenya is not going towards the right direction that we should feel. An opinion poll survey was conducted, I think a month ago, and the percentage that responded in terms of they feel that the government and the country is not going toward the right direction was alarming, bringing to deeper and more questions as to what should be done. Amongst the very many questions that people are asking, are we paying taxes? And if we're paying taxes, where are all these monies going? Are the taxes not being well managed? Because we can see that the government is saying hakuna pesa. However, we've seen how much the president has been traveling within and without the country, which causes the taxpayer and even the government itself billions of monies. we've seen everything that is happening within the government. The prayer services that are being held, the president traveling outside the country and within the country, and all these. When we say that serikali kuna pesa ni tu kutumia vizuri, ndio matumizi hayawekwi, the questions are still there and very many. The top three principles of the country, that is the president, his deputy, and Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi. There were requisitions from the treasury that one, there were vehicles to be bought, and two, the expenditures within these three top offices rose from whatever figure it was, very many millions to another very many billions. And this was happening within 4 to 5 months of them being in power. The second in command and the third in command even requested that they have their spouses get an office. Where does money for running these offices come from? Very candid question that many people would like to know. However much they say that these are voluntary services that are being provided to the residents of this nation. People are eager to understand where does this money come from. The president, the deputy president are saying they found FT coffers and there is no money. But if you look at what they spend every other month, you keep yourself asking questions that nobody is ready to answer. So we still have very many questions that we need to ask, like what do we need to do to fix this mess rather than keeping on mentioning the previous regime. David indeed mentioned that the late president, Emilio Kibaki, why, also did some bad manners in politics and it got the country in a fix. Now, this is a different and a new phase into the blame game. Who did wrong, who did right? We can see now we're going back to two regimes past. The current regime that we have, Kibaki did something that put the country in a political crisis and economical crisis, and the current regime is equally asking and saying in every other public events that they have. Raila Odinga, when they came into handshake with the retired president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the handshake made the country to take a different dive into deeper seas where they say there was too much misappropriation of funds, there was too much stealing. But I mean, we as the residents of this country, we as the taxpayers, we who voted and not voted for whoever we did for, simply need answers and would like to see the country running towards the right direction. It's too much of political backbiting, and there's nobody who is coming to save us. It is we who are here to save our country from whatever is happening. So let's keep cycle of communications and conversations going on, and such we can always be having them here live and direct, engaging with you as our viewers on our YouTube handles, that is on Sharon Paul Media and Thuku Mwita Thuku, as well as on our Facebook handles, that is Sharon Paul SP on Facebook and Thuku Mwita Thuku. The discussion that we want to have today, we had to keep them a little bit aside so that we wait for when we both of us happen in the studio ili tuweze kuona jinsi ambavyo tutakuwa tunayachangia. And remember, this is where you can always get the full engagement of matters related to politics, health, education, and any other thing happening within the social arenas. Today, we are just keeping you informed that we're around, and I believe by tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, we shall be kicking the show together with Thuku Mwita. Wherever he is, tunamtakia kila laheri. And from my end, I think I don't have much to say as of for now, but to say and give a big thanks to the lady and gentlemen who are behind this production. It is not an easy job for you to see us coming to you live or even on recorded studio. Tunawapatia heko na shukran sana. Till next time, my name is Sharon Paul, and this, as always, is the focus group. Bye for now.